Jake, I'm giving you some advice right now. This is from the mountain man, all the way in the mountains. You need to apologize. Apologize to Rome. Apologize to Pesci. Apologize to me. Apologize to everybody in the PWO. I love you, brother. But you done some wrong here. Take from the mountain man. I made many mistakes in life, and I paid for it. Apologize.
Ellis John Hudson. I was thinking, should we put you on ring crew? I'm thinking even that is too high for you, Jake. Instead, there is another demotion that we're going to do to you, Mr. Hudson. The ring crew is not the answer, brother. No. We're not going to put you on the ring crew, brother. Instead, we're going to start you off as a ring rat. Means you're not even qualified to put up a ring. You just there as a fan. That's what you're going to be. You a ring rat. Like the girls who chase all the men. That's where you're demoted to, Jake. I'm sorry to be this way, but you brought it on yourself when you disrespect the president, Rome, and you're spitting on all of us. So all of us have decided you've been demoted down to not ring crew. No, not the ring crew. You are going down to the ring rat. That is the lowest membership you could get. That's where you belong. And you gotta work your way up to the top. And the first way to go is simple. The way to get out of ring rat is simple. And promote yourself to ring crew is you owe everybody a public apology, Jake. And you start by apologizing to the president, Roland Taylor. And the second one, you need to apologize to Pesci, a man who's gave you money, and you disrespected him too. And most of all, the guy who sends you packages, Smith, you owe him an apology too. You owe all a PWO apology for the actions you pulled, Mr. Hudson. And it's time you start right now.
Mr. Jake Husdon, stop being a cloud of negativity that no one wants to be around. Or else people are just going to push away from you like they did.
Well, Mr. Ellis J. Hudson, I got something else I got to add to you as well. You know how I told you had to apologize to all the PWO members? Well, Mountain Man, the guy you disrespected before you went off on Rome, is another one you got to apologize to. Mr. Brad himself. He's part of the PWO too. You owe him an apology just as much. So this is another thing, special occasion you're going to do. You're going to apologize to Brad as well. Either you apologize to him, or you two are going to do a debate. And oh yeah, Mr. Hudson, you owe Mr. Brad, you owe the president, you owe us all an apology. For all the actions you pulled lately. You've changed in the last few weeks, Jake. You've gotten a too big of a head. It's time to bring you down to size, Jake. Mr. Ring Rat. Oh yeah, you got a long way to go before you ever reach main event status again. That's why we putting you on the Ring Rat crew. Because that's exactly where you belong. You're not a ring crew member no more. No, that's too good for you. We put you down to Ring Rat. But oh yeah, apologizing to Brad is just as important as apologizing to the rest of the BWO. Most of all, you owe the great Rome Taylor apology. If you disrespect him, you disrespect Pesci, and you disrespect all of us. Well, like I said, we tried to warn you, but you don't listen. It came down to this again, brother. Boston is back, and the promos are coming to your ass, brother. You either respect the PWO, or get the foot in your ass. One way or another, Jake. You better start apologizing soon, because you on thin ice, brother.
Hey Jake, it's a mountain man talking to you all the way from the mountains. You didn't get my first message. You better get on that shit. You need to be thankful for everything you got in life, brother. And the PWO. Pesci, Rome, me, yes, even me, the mountain man. Boston, everyone in the PWO. We're a pack, dude. What I'm going to tell you right now is serious. Apologize. Because we're a pack. Be thankful for what you got in life, brother. I'm telling you that right now from the mountain man. Love you, brother. Apologize, motherfucker.
Oh my God. That video, besides getting my new car today, just made my day right there. I'm not gonna unblock you until we talk. So you got him blocked on the phone, you got him blocked on the Facebook. Here's the question. How are you going to talk to him if he's blocked? That didn't make no sense at all, Jake. I'm not gonna unblock him until we talk. Well, how do you talk if they're blocked, Jake? See, you need to think before you say these things, bro. Because this didn't make no sense. So if he's blocked on YouTube, if he's blocked on Facebook, and he's blocked on the phone, how the hell is he going to talk to you? God. This made my day, folks. Thank you for the video. Because I laughed so hard when I freaking got that. Oh my God. I'm not gonna block you until we talk. How do you talk if he's blocked?
I just want to say to Jake that I wish him well in his future endeavors, but he needs to keep my name out of his mouth and out of other people's mouths trying to stir the pot. I have done nothing but nice to him, and I would appreciate it if he just acted like I didn't exist, because I will from this point on.
Jake, man, Jake, bro, brother, broham! Jake, what is with you, man? You've been on a tear lately. Man, it's just not cool, man. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Jake, I've always had your back, even when you were wrong. Even in times when you knew you were wrong and I knew you were wrong, I had your back. But I can't do it this time, man. You really, when you called Maddie and Ariel a cunt, and then after that, the shit you did with Rome, not once, mind you, but twice, disrespecting Rome. And then the way you talked about money, it made me feel like a doormat. And I ain't nobody's doormat. Made me feel like you were taking advantage of my generosity. So Jake, man, straighten out. I still like you, Jake. I just want to see you do better. I'm not really mad anymore. I'm just disappointed in you, Jake. Also, Jake, I unblocked you on Facebook. So if you ever want to talk about it, you can message me, all right? Peace.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for
for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day.
Motherfucker.
No, you're good. I'm setting up my settings. You're good.
How you been, man?
Good. No, I want to say I was going to come on anyway, but I wanted to say something to Herman as well.
Oh no, I
Herman,
figured.
I never sided with Jake. I don't even remember what happened, but the last show me and you did together was called Herman the Great Returns to the PWO. When you and Jake would have your little side quarrels, I didn't know where you guys stood. There was never a day when I'm like, I stand with Jake. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that Jake doesn't play favorites. You could be the closest person to him and do more from him than anybody. He'll tell you to fuck off. I always thought you guys just had like a little fake argument. You know, two guys have a little thing. I never knew your shit was serious. That's why I went to reach out to you one day and I saw it was blocked. I was like, huh? You know what I mean? And I've, you know, with Jake, and the one thing I was going to tell him, yeah, it's like I don't say it on in person. So it's like sometimes with him, you got to put it on camera so you can go, well, we know he told in person. But anyway, I told Jake a little bit of probably a day Jacob Waters had him on, and had Roman. I go, Jake, you've unfortunately have burned some very serious bridges that aren't overnight repairable. You know what I mean? It's not even saying that they're gone for good, but you've done some shit that I don't even condone. And I can't, you know, be a part of that or whatever. And I might be able to laugh about some things. But the one thing I was going to change was I'm not biting my tongue anymore because I'm going to be worried about somebody else saying this guy's being mean to a blah, blah, blah. I've let him stack up enough bad acts on top of giving money at times when I'm not supposed to. What that does for my conscience, I never tell people in the beginning because you never let anybody know, certain people know your plan. But I knew probably one day we would have to separate, and I knew I wouldn't feel as bad if I at least did a lot of nice things, overly nice things. So when you do have to separate to a degree or not let him be himself, like he just can't call the shots anymore or whatever. There's a lot of times I bite my tongue. I'm not doing that no more. You know what I mean? If you're a grown-up or whatever, like you claim, it's time to be a grown-up back to me because I've done nothing but be professional towards you. And that's what I said with Herman. I've never even been mad at you. I've never said anything bad. Schmidt was pissed that you were gone. We didn't even know. I was blocked. I just thought you were taking your own break. You know what I mean? You're like, Herman, I didn't even give my mom a Christmas present this year or call her a Christmas, but I did send you something on Christmas. And Jake. That was it. Right hand to God, whatever. I don't need to lie anymore. You know what I mean? It's like people respect the truth, even if it's a checkered past. That's why when I first went on Boland's, I wasn't afraid to tell them about who I was in the past because I knew eventually people from YouTube or something would come on there, probably bust my balls like, oh, Pesci's an insurance seller, huh? I'd rather go, look, I was a criminal my whole life. If you can like me for that, that's fine. If not, oh well. That's why people are like, why'd you tell them that stuff? Why lie? They would have just used that heavier against me.
Did you see what Herman said?
What'd he say?
He said, I hear you, Pesci, but can you see it on the bottom of the
And
screen?
I didn't tell you to trust me, Herman. You can unblock me on Messenger. I've never, when you say break trust, you act like I did something severe. I didn't even know this happened. As Jacob, I reached out to him.
Yeah, he reached out to me, and
I'm like, what the fuck?
I hate to be the fucking middle guy in this, but it's just like I knew Herman was upset, and I knew it was about the Jake stuff, and then more stuff rose up with Jake, and I was just like, oh, maybe this part has to lie down before this can be cleared up, because I knew it was about Jake, because
when you used
Herman
to
and
do
Jake
the live bar, the
Herman
bar
and Jake
stream,
have a love
I
hate,
showed
but Jake
up
cuts
home.
it off all the time. But yeah, Pesci did reach out to me about it, and I think
watched
I believe
your
I
whole
told Herman
video.
about it as well.
There was other people not upset at you, upset that you were gone, that Jake I didn't know Jake caused you. I honestly, right hand to God, thought you and Jake used to just have like a little, when people do like the argument thing or whatever. I always thought that was just you guys. I didn't know he hit you, got you in the wrong way. He just did that to Rome. And Rome's a great guy. Rome's too good of a guy to me for me to take Jake's side.
I think more than anything, I think Jake's
I've known Rome just as long as I've known Jake.
But Pesci, you would even say, don't you think Jake's kind of gotten comfortable where he just will go on and say whatever he wants?
That's what I tell people. I've been telling people since day one about Jake. Jake gets comfortable with you, his behavior will alter.
Yeah.
Go watch a video of you with the first day you met Jake. You could go watch it on my channel. You go watch it on Kenny's. It's actually funny. Like, I'm not a doctor, but I could probably write a decent journal entry to where you would see a lot of the stuff up. What I've learned is, when he used to introduce me to people like you, Herman, Jacob Waters, relationships I flourished with like Marty the Moth, Rev Sauce, Lemmy, I always felt in debt to him for a lot of those things. But there was different behaviors that started to pop up as he became more comfortable with people. The reason why he used to say he brought me to the dance is because I used to pump his head because it was deserved. How much I thank you for introducing me to Marty the Moth and Rev Sauce, people like that. Your problem is, Jake, you don't remember nothing I did. You act like I didn't take you. You've had a YouTube channel for years. You've done videos before me. But you act like I, on Boland's show, didn't once tell Boland, well, there's actually a little bit more to Jake than, the shit they say that's wrong with him. I think he could be entertaining. That's what I said on Kenny's show before any of this ever existed. So when I left, when Kenny did the fake retirement, me and Rome and him were just going to start randomly doing shows. I didn't know it would turn into like how it did so quick, where it's just all those people like that. You know what I mean? But Jake's behavior has changed slowly by the day. The stuff he says behind the scenes. One thing me and Frank Kirsch, my producer, one of the smartest guys you'll meet, said this months ago. I always said, I don't need to be the hater of him. He's going to do a good job. When he meets guys like you or Jacob, when I first met you, I first started talking to Jacob Waters. I never talked bad about Jake behind his back. I might inform Jacob of something to be wary of, careful of, keep in his head. but I've never said a thing that could hurt that kid.
No,
And I used
you've been nothing but nice to him the whole time I've known you.
Because of the people, and I appreciate you letting me come on. Because of the people, every time I would look at Jake and say, all right, it's time for me to put my foot down, I would meet a Jacob Waters or a Lemmy or a Herman the Great or someone like that, to where, like, me and Jacob have always been cool. You know what I mean? And he does opposite stuff I do. You know what I mean? We have a lot of the same interests, of course. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of shit. He knows shit about politics. I don't. You know what I mean? Shit like that, the moon. But those are stuff that I don't mind talking about, because Tucker Carlson's the most rated guy on TV right now. He does a politics show. It's called the politics show. And the people don't say, oh, he's talking about politics. Once you label it a politics show, fans don't get upset. Take my bowling show, for instance. It's the number one, and I've done it 4 times. It's the number 1 rated show on my channel. All 5 of them are at the top. Not because, if I would have never called it a political show, people would have been like, what are we talking about? You call it a political show, then that keeps out those dumbass comments. And what's funny is those people who say, oh, like politics, they do. But that's just usually one of those, like, smart-ass comments you'll make when you're irritated.
Oh, yeah, and it's one of those search words. People are going to look for stuff.
I'm not against it. I don't know anything about it. I know it brings people. You know what I mean? I'll bring people. I used to get a kick out of showing videos from, I wouldn't say Republicans, but people that swing that way, because these are all the things that he says doesn't exist or they don't do. I legitimately got a kick out of watching his face when he would see these comments, because they bother him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a couple of my friends say, they know the guy's a dick, but sometimes some of that shit could be entertaining.
True.
You know what I mean? Like one girl
goes, the reaction.
I watched him on his channel. I actually watched him on your channel. I was like, there's some actually comedy there. Because on my channel, he doesn't have to ask for donations. The reason why is I give him money so it doesn't have to be asked for. If Kenny could just focus on not saying anything about money, he will be watched. I'm not saying watch because he's a smart guy. You will watch a guy like that. You know what I mean? That guy was able to take a small niche audience and make a shitload of money. And he wasn't even good at what he did.
No, I think the money thing kind of draws the audience away to a certain point.
Yeah, but I'm saying with him, it's repetitive.
Yeah.
This is the streaming world. We all know everybody's got a donation button.
Yeah.
We get it. You know what I mean? That's why I said I always value the relationships. He valued the money because he knows where the money was. He didn't know where a lot of people went because they were talking to me behind the scenes. And I respect them too much to go, oh, Cody, they were blah, blah, blah. That's why I always knew Schmidt was a good guy. Schmidt wanted to. He could have told Kenny a million things. You don't think I told Schmidt secrets? Yeah. Now, Kenny never got one inkling of anything I ever said that couldn't be repeated back to him. That's why I never said a bad thing about Schmidt. And that's why I never looked at Kenny serious. Because, Kenny, I was able to take your number 1 guy, pretty much make my number 1 guy.
He said you're more than welcome to come up too, Herman, if you want to join us. But
yeah,
Herman just said, Jake said I'm going to go.
I don't care.
Jake said, I'm going to go if Herman comes up here. And you said, Jake, don't be like that. And he continued, and you made excuses for him. That's the time he's talking about on the last show.
If I did, my apologies. I didn't intend to. I might have been just trying to tell you don't take him serious. Because I stopped. I just got enough polish not to say it on air. I had enough polish to know this guy goes out and does the networking you're not going to want to do. There's certain shows he watches that has big followings that I honestly watch a couple minutes of the show and I just can't get into it. You know what I mean? There's a couple guys he talks to that aren't even the main guys, and I think these should be the guys they're should be pushing. You're going to see me hooking up with these guys soon. That's why it was good that me and Lemmy got hooked up, because she's in that circle. Jake doesn't know how to play for a team. He showed that. It's got video. He can say whatever he wants about me. You know what I mean? Because I go, you can say whatever you want, Jake. The majority of the people that would care about what you say, no, I'm not the bad guy. That's on you, because I knew there would be a day where I might have to sound like a dick. No pun intended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the Giggle Pickles thing. She fucked up years ago, Jake. I'm a fucking convict. You brought her to us. You made me be nice to this chick. She never did no fing-fong weirdo shit around me, nor did I put no trust in her. You know, this is the streaming world. If Jacob was a fucking dude that did karate in his backyard at 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., I'm going to learn to deal with it. You know, 4 years ago, he stole a truck of cigarettes. You know what I mean? I used to do a lot of bad shit. Not like harmful, but dude, when you're in the drug game, you're doing a lot of illegal shit. You know what I mean? Where you're stuck or you could be giving somebody drugs that should be spending that money to go do whatever. But I've never ran away from who I am. I'm the 5-time, not champion, Kenny. And you guys know the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just used to notice that Jake's kind of job for me. I just said he's good at finding people, and then me usually excelling at that relationship that he doesn't really want to excel at. Because he only wants to really get you on his channel, get that interview, just because it's like it's like killing a deer and putting it on your fucking basic. Now, if you can hold a certain relationship with him and not get too close, you should be able to run around like Jacob. Jacob's been able to run around because he's never been like the father, something like that. He's helped Jake out, but he's never let it go into the like Pook. What happened with Pook was Pook started sending that monthly money, and then what happened was once you start to realize how grateful the kid is, that could be a fucking turnoff. That's why I used to tell Jake, you better value me most because I am a guy that can look past you being a scumbag 99% of the time. You think people have the brain capacity to do that? A la Herman the Great. You pushed him over. That's why I said, I can't bite my tongue anymore. If they want to call me a mean person, then let it fucking be. My only response is go watch the film, like Bill Belichick would say. Because stats are for losers and box scores are for winners, Galaxy. Don't forget that shit, punk. I saw your channel pop back up. Might have to pop in there on suspension. He never answers me, though. I'll go, hi, Galaxy. Jesus Christ, Galaxy, you think you would know how to read the chat by now? Wasn't too many people in there like the first time.
He gets on rants and like he won't catch up the chat for 20 minutes, and then he's playing catch up. He gets bad about it. Well, because one person will say something that triggers him about Michael Jordan.
And the funny thing about Pook was when that shit happened with Jake, I didn't even know what really happened. It happened so quick, like boom, 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 boom. Like sometimes shit goes over my head. I was like, wait a minute, Pook had to block Jake. Because I was in a chat with Jake a minute ago, not anymore. And Pook sends him StreamYard money. And he was going to continue doing that. And Pook never 86'd him for life, but Jake, you got to give guys a couple days. You know you're not as sorry as you just saying the words. You know what I mean? I was on a show with him yesterday. And all he did, I didn't know Lemon was coming on there, so I was on the show with him. She pops in with her boyfriend. Because I actually did a stream with her boyfriend on Friday, gaming one. He's actually an entertaining fucking guy. You know what I mean?
The grainy one.
Yeah. So he's a funny dude. Because he's one of those guys that can kind of like be in a room with any kind of guy and at least just start talking or whatever, not like be turned away or turned off or act fucked up, at the wrong times. What I was noticing about Jake's behavior, and you can ask my producer, Frank Kirsch, because Frank said it best. If you look up the definition of Jake, you can't fix him. I've always known that. I just didn't know it excels to a point where it never goes back down. Like he has painted me in the last month in times where he has said nothing but lies or painted me out to be a villain that if you were a stranger of me, you'd be like, dear God, who's this fucking Pesci guy? I got trolls and shit. No, Jake, you are usually responsible for your own misery. I said months ago, chaos. You're not the king of chaos. You want to know why? Because sometimes you run from your own. The real king of chaos wouldn't run. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, when you start drama and then it comes on my porch, do you ever see me run? And that usually gets people mad at me because it's not my job to pick sides on the goddamn internet. There's going to be 300 people watching me at some point. You think all 300 are going to get along? No, and I don't expect them to. If they watch me, that's enough. You know what I mean? It's not going to be all nits and giddles. And with Jake, motherfuckers should have saw the shit months ago. I always looked at him as a gatherer, a paid guy, a guy that he is going to go network on shows you would never network. And then it's going to be your job to see the guys that pop up over there, which ones we got to go grab up. Okay? Now, of course, I'm not going to say that months ago because you just pumped that in his head. And they'd be like, oh, but he started saying all that shit himself. I was trying to be an adult and not sound cool, but now I'm starting to get a little pissed off. You know what I mean? Like that shit, fucking shit he said to fucking Lemmy the one day. And then it was just like, how are you going to do that to somebody that's helping you? If you can't.
Even as far as what he said to April and Maddie, like, as much as.
No, and Ariel said she could look past that. She goes, I don't care. I thought it was funny. Yeah, but Jake,
but that's the thing. I mean, it's funny, but your gimmick only works sometimes, and you can't hold it out like you're serious. I mean, like, I know Ariel and me might not get along or whatever, but it's at the same time, it's like you still just don't go around disrespecting people for no reason. And you got to go.
And you want to know the truth, Jake? That PWO doesn't fear the HWO. I don't fear liars. The truth fucking hurts, but it always fucking wins. You're always a microplasm of the PWO. I always overhyped you. Got guys in there. Some guys came on their own. Guys that would just be able to keep your confidence up. Guys that be able to deal with you. I'm not saying you didn't do any good on yourself, but you need to learn how to play a part of a team. You didn't bring me to no dance. I fucking gave you the confidence to dance. You forget that. You forget about the night with Marty the Mall. You forget about plays Creed a lot. Where he said, damn, you saved the day. Yeah, I saved the day on the day where you tried to humiliate me. Because I am strong in my mental capacity to deal with you. I'm not going to let your goddamn silly shit win. I should have just been more upfront and not bit my tongue as much. I should have just let you block me. But I saw value in the people you were bringing. So sometimes I fucking shut my mouth. So it wasn't like, oh, Pesci's always did what he wanted. He's always on Jake's dick. No, I always thought I was paying off debt. Same thing with bowling. Didn't just go with Jake. Same thing with Kenny. Even though I'm blocked by him now. I was always nice to Kenny because of the amount of people that came from his audience that watch me to this day. The Frank Kirsches, the Smiths, the Hazelwoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to value that. Even though Kenny don't value me, at least if I could do my part when that day comes when I got to start trashing motherfuckers, they're going to know it was well-deserved when I started trashing them. Because I did what I could to not just, you know what I mean? Because if I would have did it right away, they would have been like, look, Pesci, as soon as he got a little popular, he started bashing Kenny. My most viewed video on my channel is Kenny Bowling blocked me. And you know what's funny about the comment list? None. I didn't get one comment saying, this dude's a fucking piece of shit liar. Talk about me. They fucking heard that shit. His own audience heard that shit. You know what I mean? And they didn't question it because they knew that I don't lie. They seen enough of me to know what happened to me was bullshit, any fucking level. Like I said, I never understood what happened with Jacob because it happened so fast. And I warned Jacob. I said, Jacob, let me handle the money part because I offered to pay for Jacob to answer questions. You can't talk money with bowling unless you could talk bowling. You weren't talking bowling yet.
Oh yeah, no, I knew off of one visit how fake he was. It didn't take me very long to figure it out. But
you know, if Diddy had half a brain, he should always put over my survival on his channel. Because even with money, there comes a point where if a couple fans would have said no, he would have went with them.
That's the thing. He got that politics idea, I assume, from you because I mean, he doesn't.
Of course.
He doesn't know how to talk politics.
I booked him better than Vince Russo.
But I'm just saying, he doesn't actually know how to talk politics. He hates a lot of individuals that are involved in the political scene, but he doesn't know much about politics.
That's why it's funny, because you look at those guys, there's entertainment there. You've seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're an intelligent man should be able to watch a dumb man and laugh.
Ah, gosh, but I don't know what box I put him in now. You know, like I haven't had the urge to check on what's going on in his show in months.
I barely have watched either. His behavior has worsened too, similar to Jake. But he's not smart enough to realize what he had. I saw that. I was like, holy shit, this guy doesn't see this. It was like, hey, you're like showing him, you're like, look, he can't see me. You know what I mean? Like, what are those things? Like when he used to always go, oh yeah, Pesci couldn't work. Kenny, what I'm not telling you is there's like he doesn't know about a PWO chat or any of that. He doesn't know that I've talked to more of his fans than he does. He's too stupid. As I said, show always keep an ear to your streets. And if you're going to be in streaming, keep an ear to your fans because you're not a movie star.
That's because if they're not making donations to him, I mean, they're trolls that are following Pesci.
I knew his fall was starting to crumble when I was saying things on my show that any other day of the week, he would have got that clip. He would have been showed it. And I started doing it more, meaning when I would bring him up on my channel, I barely lied about him. I know that. I just probably said it in a more professional manner. But there was no running back, especially after you fucking clipped DJ Eric Bolin. That was your number one run dog. How you going to let the elephant dog go? You know what I mean? Yeah, Schmidt's a great guy, but Schmidt's my guy now, Bolin. You did that, not me. I didn't have to do shit. But like I said, the more you talk, the more over I got. You never told me I was wrong when I said that to your face. You just never acknowledged when I said it. Because Kenny doesn't do good with good comebacks. I proved that the one day when we came back from vacation. I said, Kenny, you wouldn't want to hear my comebacks. Later in that show, and we'll get the clip one day, I said something to Kenny where he said these exact fucking words. Maybe Pook was there. I have never heard a comment that I don't have a response to in my entire life. I had him fucking stuck for a moment to where that was the first comment he made. That's what I said, Ken. You don't want to hear my disses and all that shit because you're going to fucking get emotional. I'm going to be able to take the bullshit you give because I'm strong-minded to know what I'm getting in return. That's why I said I never had to compete. Compete? I already won that months ago. If we were competing, you know what I mean? He definitely made more money. We'll say that for sure. But you always value the relationships more than the cash because you turned off some relationships where they're not going to be bringing no more cash.
I think there's a really big difference between because I like all these analogies between Jake, you, and even Kenny. Like Kenny, yeah, he's involved with the cash donation people. Those are the people he wants to establish relationships with. Besides this daddy thing he's got going on in his chat that we won't discuss. But Jake, yeah, he'll make the connections and then leave them behind. And you, myself included, I feel like we're more trying to build relationships with the people that are actually watching us. Like I know about everybody in my chat. I know a little bit about them. I don't know everything about them, just as much as they want to talk
that big where we can't. You know, so like we're famous. We got to, you know. Now, sure, there's new people coming in. When I started to learn, you know what? When those fake accounts started hopping up, I stopped blaming one person because I started realizing people are probably just watching it now doing it for a gag gift. Problem was it always bothered Bolin and Jake. I was able to just let my mods handle it. I used to hear Jake say, I don't want the drama. You do want the drama. Jake, stop lying.
Oh,
Go ahead and fucking block me.
He likes the chaos tag at the chaos tag.
I don't give a shit anymore because the last 5 times you've come on my show, everybody knows. Yeah, I was laughing at the listen thing, but the bottom line was that was fucking cold. That was cold-blooded. There's nothing. And when people ask you, I've always noticed this, Jake, when certain people ask you, why did this happen, that, you never give them the real answer.
I don't take questions.
And if you're the type of guy that could treat a guy like Rome and those guys like enemies or whatever, then, bro, I can't. If you're going to do business with me, you're going to have to fall in line. I'm not letting you tell me what to do. You're the fucking guy that's seeking chaos, seeking emotional whatever all the time. And it only gets worse the more you get comfortable with somebody. That's why Tampa Terry gets along with Jake right now, because he's a stranger to a degree. Jake don't play Jake in every fucking chat. Yeah, a little bit of it has spilled out in the last month. Your fault, not mine, Jake. But I saw in the messages Lemmy sent me, she didn't even know you could get like that. Because she said, she goes, is this something that should be addressed? And I wanted to tell her, this has already happened. Me and Pook and everybody can tell you this shit has happened, but we've done a good way of cleaning up the dust to where it doesn't fucking just linger out.
I think Lemmy's statements to Jake though actually had an impact. I very few guests I can see actually have an impact.
You saw the message he sent her, and he blocked her twice.
No, I'm just saying you could tell Jake actually was taking in what she was saying. Whether he agreed with it or not and how he reacted is one thing. He actually listened to what she was saying compared to most people.
Well, we'll see. Because the first thing he did, Jacob, actions, the next day he did a video and said Rome doesn't deserve an apology. How much have we truly learned? There?
Oh no, I'm the one who showed Rome that video. He hadn't seen it, and I was like, yeah, no, I was on the live. Me and Tiffany were actually in there.
And they're like, yeah, of course, apologize to Pook, but don't say apologize to Pook because he gave you money before.
And I'm gonna be and he's going to be cordial with giggle pickles.
He told people multiple times I looked the other way that he was using me for money. And I think he said it to Jacob a few times. And like I said, I always felt in debt. So I'm going to give him cash because I knew there would be relationships I would excel from. And I have continued that. Unfortunately for those, they will learn that, you can't fix something that's broken, as Frank. There's nothing that can change them. The only thing that can change them is if you physically lived with them and you were the feeder, the caller, the blah, blah, blah. Because then you could initiate a little bit more like, yo, you want the dog treat? You better fucking do this. And he's smart enough to do the trick for the treat. Because we saw that on the Angelo show. Go watch Jake's first show with Angelo. And tell me that's the guy that shows up on my shit.
See what Poop said?
He said Pesci always flip-flops. No. Pesci always just tries to fucking keep it together. I don't hate right away. I can't hate somebody off cue like you and Bolin can.
Oh, man, and I don't understand the hate thing. I just disassociate with people. I can't waste my time hating people. I started figuring that out with when I was mad at somebody else in this community, and I think a lot of this all stems from.
And here's a little news flash. When the HWO came around, it's like when your 7-year-old is in her room and she's practicing on her instrument, and you keep hearing her fuck up, and she goes, "Mommy, how do I sound?" And you say, "Great." That's what the HWO always was.
Every company needs a little sister organization. Come on.
Well, no, he could have been a part of the team, and he was. He wanted to fucking be the CEO, the head caboodle, the fucking, I'm the best there is. You're the best there is at fucking everything up that I'm building. And that's all you proved. You can watch the tape. You can't beat the tape, Jake. So no matter what you say back to me, that's all good and gravy. But this one's already been finished. You know what I mean? You might as well call this a mic drop that I'm not even holding the mic. You know what I mean? But sometimes the real people always be like, "Oh, why do you do this?" Well, I know what was going on. I've been biting my tongue for a long time. So when I did stop biting it, I wouldn't feel as bad for all the shit that's coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean? You can ask the guy that's here at my house, Ohio, man. I've been building teams my whole life. That's what I said. Jake, I know when somebody's not playing as a good team member. It was the reason when I told myself once in the middle of bowling in the beginning, you're going to have to eventually separate yourself from this guy in a way, professionally, to where he doesn't say, "Oh, Pesci ran away with all my fans." Now Bowling just says it's everybody I blocked. Meanwhile, it's like 2 guys he blocked. Everybody else just stopped going there, and he thinks he blocked them. That's what I said. For those that don't know Kenny, he's really not as smart as he looks or sounds or says he sounds. I promise. The people say, what's this guy's thing? He's not as smart as he comes across. Never has been. I just have enough courtesy to know that I'm in detriment if I pointed out who you really are. I think we all know that. So don't ask me if I can work. I can work my patience long enough to deal with a guy like Kenny Bolin that doesn't deserve shit. But I was able to do that because of who I met and what I did with those relationships. It was because of you, Bolin, and Jake, that you guys should have been more on my train than your own damn one, because your shit was all crashing.
I'm glad you actually finally opened up about this, because I've asked you about it before in that group chat. I've seen several people ask you about this before.
Because now this opens the way. Wait for this.
You're always on the nice side, Pesci. I mean, like it makes more sense. You're saying, all right, well, I felt like before I was replaying debts because he was connecting me with good people.
When that shit happened with me and Ariel, I had full intentions of still sending her the laptop because I'm a man of my word, not yours. And especially when Pena goes, get the laptop first. What's funny was, I don't know if you saw what I said earlier to Pena. Pena goes, hey, Pesci, if you ever need any relationship advice on international things, give me a call. I tagged him and said, Pena, don't take this the wrong way, but I would never take relationship advice from you, ever in my life. And if I did, people would question my fucking intelligence, okay? I know enough about Ariel to understand why she's with Pena. Is she a saint? Hell no. But I'm about to show you how to make her an asset instead of a fucking whatever. Because you got to talk to him like a dog sometimes. Unfortunately,
you talk to him what he would consider abrasive, because that's how he comes across. I mean, you have to be forward with Pena. I'm the same way.
Yeah, no, Pena and me get along. As long as you talk to Pena like a man, he's cool with that because he's got a chick that controls him, so he knows about control. I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking the truth. There's a difference, and that hurts a lot. That's why I never got mad about what Kenny said about me, because none of it was real. That's why I said it would have been one thing if like Jacob Waters or Pook Ninja or Schmidt would have did a show talking about shit that I was not. I would have been upset because I would have looked at the guy saying it like, man, I respect these guys. I always knew Jake was a loose cannon. I just didn't realize the disease gets worse to where he will get along best with strangers or like in a chat atmosphere where you only see his name. Just like when Jason Marshall said, I've never seen that side of him. I said, Jason, he could say that to you just as, like when Jason Marshall goes, he wanted me to come on his show, talk about the fake counts. I go, it's nothing to talk about. It's been the same. He goes, it was kind of odd somebody made a fake count of me. No, it's not. Doyle knows you. And that's the main guy. One of the first, if you were to say make a top 10 list of fake accounts Doyle would make of Kenny's old calls, I'm probably not even number one. I'm going to get Jason Marshall number 4. Okay? We know how fucking Doyle goes. I go, I don't need to come on your show and tell you that, Jason. There's nothing to tell, bro. Go watch the old shows. It's fucking, you're not going to figure it out. But if they were using your name, more than likely it was this audience. So think of the audience that was watching you. And one of those guys was the fake. There's nobody else.
I knew I think you were one of the ones that warned me that there was a fake Jacob Waters going around.
Well, when I first started coming around Jacob, I was like, fuck. When I used to shout his channel out, I was like, you know what? They're going to start going over there. But I didn't want, Jacob Waters didn't know the situation. And I didn't want him to think I wasn't trying to help his channel. But sure enough, day one, they showed up over there, 9 of them. I remember every time I would call them out, they just were speechless. Or they would say, PWO for life, for blah. Jacob Waters saw. That's why when he says Servap, I'd never seen this side of you. Because Servap.
I still love that line.
Yeah, it was a great line. And like I said, I get it. There's sides of him that don't bother you. He never showed us that side. We would give him the warning, hey, you bring up this again, you're out.
That's what I'm saying. At least I had to give it to the guy. He's he's heeded my warnings as long as he's been on the channel. The other day, he popped on when I was doing my last live, and he asked everybody that was in the chat. I think we had like 5-6 people in the chat. He goes, "Is it time for a Servap to get a wrench?" And I was like, "Well, ask everybody in the chat. Do you think you deserve a wrench?" Nobody wanted to give it to him. Nobody still trusted him yet. But at the same time, they were like, "All right, Servap hasn't said anything stupid to get blocked."
I also made mistakes too along the way, Jake. The way I treated your behavior. Like in the beginning, I should always kept my beginning philosophy. When he first started coming around, I said, I don't do a cry channel. I'll do that over on yours. You start crying, I just kick you out no matter what, Claymore. I don't know why I went away from that, but the days of me being fucking nice to that kid, the strangers that don't know me might call me a piece of shit, but I don't give a fuck. My only response is go watch the tape.
Anybody that knows what's going on with you guys behind the scenes, you've done nothing but support him over time.
Right. Even through the bad times. And that, Jake, let me tell you how that was a trick. And I'm going to tell people about the 3 stages thing too. And that's going to be the funny thing. So, Jake, here's a little trick. I used to hype you up like when I said, we did this one video and I go, Jake, I want you to say that you're 3 levels ahead of everybody. Because I just got done telling people Jake is smarter than people know. So I wanted people, so I just got, and this is in the beginning. So I remember I was telling people that, this is like 4 chats, I'm like, this guy Jake's smart. You guys fucking get the wrong idea. He's a couple steps ahead of everybody. I go, Jake, some point into your promo, make sure you say you're 3 like levels ahead. He forgot the word level, and he said I'm 3 stages ahead. Everybody loved that line. Guess what, Jake? They loved it because I knew they would. I knew what they wanted. All right? I knew what would be funny. Did you say that line yourself, Jake? Or did I tell it to you before we went in there? You know what I mean? That was always my shit. The word dance was the one you used. But I used to overhype the people you would bring to me. You didn't bring me shit. I brought myself to Bolins. You know what I mean? I didn't even know who the fuck you were. I met you that first time when Schmidt, a person who you disrespected at a level where he should piss in your picture or piss in your mouth and close your mouth. You fucking used to disrespect that guy. One of the few guys like me that could look past the fucking tornado of sickness. Try to give you chances. You don't learn from shit. You said, I'm taking a break. You didn't take a break. You made up more stupid lies, said that just back to the repeat. Sent out 50 links. I went on your show yesterday. You can ask Hawaiian Puncho, and you heard me too. What's funny was before I went on Jake's show, I go, I actually got to tell Lemmy something. And Jake goes, she's not coming on the show. And I go, I didn't even talk to Lemmy. I go, I just have a feeling she might pop up or whatever. I just said that to sound like whatever. And then her boyfriend did show up, and I said, dumb luck. But that was when Jake said that. What I wanted to tell her was, and Jake didn't even give me an opportunity to say what I was trying to say. He just kept interrupting things. I go, hey, I'm suspended. I'm not doing that show this week. He goes, oh, write the show for me, and I'll do it on my channel. No, Jake, you don't deserve that shit. You know how long it takes for me to write those shows? I got to watch fucking video. You think I remember those trivia questions? No, I put time in that shit. Just like I do the Walking Dead thing. You know what I mean? You're not ready to put time in this as the number one. You're on a laptop. Remember when Frank offered to get you a computer? He did not send it to you, his mean guy. He said it sent you because you weren't ready to have a computer. You like to walk around. You don't really, you're just playing the plain, simple, small moves. And the thing is, you know how to be nice to a stranger. You knew how to be nice to little Lemmy, and eventually you started saying shit to her you would have never said in the beginning. You know what I mean? And you can't ever listen to helpful criticism. What kind of sick bastard? And I was that sick bastard. And that could show anybody. If people want to know what kind of guy I am, I'm the guy that was able to wrangle Bolin and Jake, keep my mental patience together. To where it wasn't like they kissed. I wasn't like Hazelwood loved. Far from. You know what I mean? Ivan Schmidt was Hazelwood loved. He just lives 5 minutes from him. That's why I never expected Schmidt to like 80s when that shit started. I knew he'd always be back eventually. But I expected him to just not get Kenny mad, blah, blah, blah. You know, Schmidt did a good enough job of doing it like a little child, and he knows that, and he cried on my show like a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
no,
what
I know, Pesci. You had to do that in front of me. I'm sitting here like, oh
people
god.
know when I open my mouth, it's the truth, and people start crying like Bolin and fucking Jake and so.
Well, and that's something I've always respected you for, Pesci. I think we operate on the same way with that. If I'm gonna come on and do a rant about somebody, my door's open for you to come in, and anybody else, even people I disagree with now. Ariel, when we disagreed, my door was open. I sent her a link. I said, if you want to come on and talk about what I'm addressing, and the same thing happened when I was on with you and Schmidt. You were like, no. Let's really address this. Like, hold on a minute. And yeah, no, Schmidt got serious that time. That's the first time I've ever seen Schmidt get serious like that.
What's crazy was the first time I was getting ready to 86 him, I accidentally landed on a show. Go look him up. I landed on a show. I came on first. I thought Jake needed help. It was with that Misty Fisty guy. That was the night when I knew who Lemmy was, but I never really watched her with Jake or anything because I was separating myself from Jake. But she actually popped on that day. And what's funny was she knew who Jake was, like the swear words, random stuff, but she didn't really know. Because I'd be like, no, he actually feels this way. So early on, when she first started coming around, one of the main reasons I bit my tongue is because I didn't want her to think I was like shitting on this guy. Because I knew I could be cool with her eventually. I just need her to get around me a couple times. And then the truth will come out. I always said, just let me talk to a few people. Let them form their own opinion. If there's something being told about me, it's not true. They will see when they talk to me, they were being goosed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew there would be troubles. You know, there's people that take shots at that because you'll be cool with somebody and people will want that. Like, for instance, when Penny said that shit to Ashley, oh, Pesci just wants something from you. Pena, how the fuck is a man that takes pegging, lives in Brazil, ran by his wife, having an international relationship at the level you are, going to say that Joe Pesci doesn't want something from a chick?
Well, and the other thing is you can't expect people. It's not like we're revealing private information when we talk about this. If other people are ranting about it on their channels,
we're not. Right. And here's the fucked up thing: these people have said false stuff, and Ariel knows me and her are cool though. You know what I mean? I can say anything now. She knows I don't hate her. Send her a computer. Send her money. Yeah, I don't hate you. If I hated you, would I do that? So don't say it's hate. This is real speech. You know what I mean? And when I learned about Penny that one night when he said, this guy, they both deserve, they should apologize to his face. They tried to make it look like I made Andre Little cry. No remorse.
So I didn't see that. So I didn't see the Andre Little thing. I was in the chat with
the down.
Thing, and you openly apologized.
It was a video of false information. It was only funny.
Like I was in the chat for the Zachary Kim thing, and you openly apologized and sent a video to him, and like you cleared things up with Zachary Kim.
And I'm gonna put this video on my channel because I'm gonna call it the cut situation. That's why I said, Pook, if you're out there, I was gonna start putting some gaming pickups.
Pook's been messaging. I don't know if you were seeing. I asked you if you saw him. He said I didn't even want him to say sorry to me, but to others.
And that's where I'm at with Pook. Like, you know, part of me's been like, dude.
And that's what Pook said. He said it was Zachary Kim, not Andre. And I was in the chat when you went ham on Andre. So there is no denial with that one. You didn't deny it before when I said Zachary Kim. I just didn't know if there was confusion with
I didn't say anything bad to Andre. I said stop with the McIntosh shit.
Yeah.
That's all. That's not being mean. That's asking a courteous thing. And they kept doing it to where I'm going to make a smart comment. I didn't make no cry comment. Andre went on Jake's show and goes, you've never made me cry in my life.
Yeah. No, Andre was straight up about it.
And I apologize to Zachary Kim when I saw how young he was.
And I thought Zachary Kim was I've said the same thing to Zachary Kim and Andre from the beginning. Not everybody wants to talk about Michael McIntosh. Not everybody wants to talk about time travel. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to feel out the chat you're in. Like, they're most of the time they're down to talk about other stuff. I mean, he's even gotten across on Galaxy before. Like and Andre's actually starting to do shows all over the place now. He was on a.
Oh, he's a good guy. I don't have no problem with him. I just said, guys, enough with the McIntosh shit. But now I said they could do it. Then I said, you know what?
Well, I mean, how is that any different from Jake Husdon walking in and being like, "Hey, I want to talk about so and so drinking coffee while
No,
you're
they
telling
were
a serious
spamming.
story."
It'd be one thing Macintosh 2024 won. They were spamming it, Jacob.
Yeah, no, dude, trust me, I know they do.
Like,
that.
I didn't say anything
And
until message
I've
30.
warned- and I know Andre and Zachary Kim won't get mad at me because I've warned them about this. Don't go into other people's chat and do that. You'll get blocked, and nobody will want to hear it.
And I never even was going to block them. I just said, hey, guys, people don't know you. They don't know you're time travelers and shit. They don't know what the fuck they're even looking at.
Yeah. When you're just going to confuse them, and it more than anything.
Because not everybody's seen Jacob's channel where they met Andre Little. That's just reality.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's the one thing I can always say about the guys. At least they go around to support everybody in this little community. They go around to absolutely everybody.
If I was in your chat bringing up Barack Obama and you said, Pesci, enough on the Barack Obama tonight, I would have stopped.
And then Pook said, and it was a crying emoji, not an actual crying on video. I got confused and blown out of proportion.
Which one?
Because first he said it was Zachary Kim that they were talking about that you made cry. It wasn't Andre. And then they said Zachary Kim put a crying emoji in the chat, and it wasn't actually crying, and it all got turned into they had him crying on kid, like he got blown up.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, Pena.
Text.
Pena, you shouldn't talk about shit. You have no idea what's going on, especially when you're that far off. Because when I get to talk again, I'm going to have a lot of fun. And you know what? No one really believes a goddamn thing you say. They're going to believe me. And that's going to be the greatest part of it all. To fucking talk about something you know you're right about. Because you're not lying. You're just talking about individual shit that happened. As I said, when it comes to the Jake Husdon thing, I never did anything that fucking could be looked sideways his way. Okay? Kenny, you could maybe bring up a couple things. I knew 5 shows in, it was on me to get close with Kenny's audience because I knew he was going to be losing them eventually. So I have to keep them liking me so they'll stay around, at least the good ones. Like I knew eventually I would separate from Bolin. I was just going to do it in a manner to where people couldn't talk shit on me and say I was using anybody. Now I was going to pay the dues ×2 to where you're going to look silly if you try to bring anything to my doorstep. You know what I mean? That's why I said it's like I didn't even have to hold the mic in this. As soon as I talked, it was going to be dropped. And it was like, I said, I guess if I could say one thing to them, I'm not saying go hide under a log and never come around. But if you're going to come around me, you're going to respect me going forward. You haven't done enough in the last 60 days for anybody to fucking take your side. That's why when Pook and them blocked you, it made it easier for me to destroy the fucking HWO. I'll even make an edit. Right here, Jake, watch this fireball. Later, that's going to be the HWO burning. I know how to do that thanks to Frank Kirsch, who I met through bowling, excelling at a relationship. The fact that Kenny had guys like Frank in his corner and didn't know how to value them to where all he did was just push them away. Guys like Jason Robbins who could look past your insufficiencies and still give you what you crave most. Even though what you crave most, you're dumb enough to say things that keeps you from getting what you crave most. I used to always tell you, I'm not trying to tell you how to run a podcast, Ken. When I'm talking about the money, I'm trying to tell you how to make money. You might want to listen because that's all I've ever done. This ain't about wrestling when we're talking about Benjamin, sir. You know what I mean? I never said I knew where Lawler went in 87. I just said if you want to make money to your audience, the perception I'm getting, it better change. But he never was willing to do that. And he doesn't value loyalty either. So there's no point for me to stay around until when he started coming on my channel. That works for me in these reasons. I'm actually putting him in a situation where he could be entertaining. The only situation. Now, a couple things I had to clean up, like him being able to block guys or whatever. But DJ Eric, I paid you $10 the night before, said, you better not show up in there. You owe Hazelwood money. Even if you said, I want to fuck you, Kenny, that motherfucker was going to block you and make a scene. So don't say like, oh, Pesci's taking Bull inside. No, man, if you respected me, you would have fucking stayed out of there. Jacob Waters had fucking Dutch Mantel on his show tomorrow, and he goes, Pesci, Dutch doesn't really like you. Can you fall back? Sure, because at least he's building that relationship with Dutch, and maybe eventually he could clear my name with the guy. It's about addition and subtraction. Jake has been subtracting. He's been getting worse. He thinks he's better than he is.
I gotta clarify because there's been some Jakes and Jacobs dropped. Pesci was referring to Jake Husdon and not myself. In case anybody that hadn't seen the two, but Servaps like testify, Pesci, and even Pook said, "Amen."
I get blocked. But guess what? When you do your shows and you're saying, "Oh, he's this and that," at least I know the people watching ain't going to be listening to that. And I said on his show yesterday, out in the open, I say, do you guys see it? Because I was trying to show Lemmy and her boyfriend. I go, you see how he's like, he tries to like either cut me off or something silly, almost like Doyle or one of those people told him to do that, like Servap when they used to talk to Jake and all that. Probably like, dude, go on Pesci's show and cause a scene. Do all those things he hates. Then later on go to a hot chick, that Lily girl, go, Pesci doesn't like me running his chat when he does a show. No, Jake, you don't know how to run your chat respectably when you're on somebody else's show. You turn it into a fucking interrupt fest where you look silly, disrespectful, and people who don't know you don't know how to act. So I appreciate you, because I always said when I tell Schmidt, I always said, Jake could become a weakness of mine because I'm not trying to do full time with him. He just kind of made that a thing. And then it just turned into whatever. But I always knew his sadness wasn't something I approached. That's why I said to Claymore, so this ain't the house of tears. You know what I mean? Usually when I would show back up on his channel, trust me, there was hidden agendas, but I was paying for those hidden agendas. Promise that. ×2. To where I don't feel bad when I have to finally make that type of move or say the real shit. That's why I always tell people, you want to know about Kenny or Jake or something, ask me first. Let me at least tell you what's the real is before you go hear the fake. That's why I always thought it was funny when people would ask Kenny about a story or this or that. I would never even ask Kenny about a story. You think I would say, damn, Ken, what happened? Yeah, I might say that and hear his fucking, I'll be able to sift through fiction and non. Ken, I read your book. You know what I mean? It was like a goddamn coloring book, for Christ's sakes. And like I said, it was probably all fake other than the shit Cornette wrote, but. And that's what I said. I always thought I would have won in two ways. A, Kenny came around, started acting nice, boom, win. Or he doesn't come around and people will be hip to him, at least the important ones. You know what I mean? The important ones.
I mean, I feel like Kenny's always been put in that box, so he's always going to be living in the shadow of Cornette. So he always feels like he's got to prove himself with drama or politics or something else. And I don't know, he's never going to be where he wants to be.
Well, instead of telling people when he's talking that this could be wrong or this could be that or this, that, he talks as if his word's the word of gospel. Yes. Like he said, this is a democracy, not a blah, blah, blah. Because I used to go, Kenny, there was this one show, I was like, bro, you don't even let me speak anymore. You don't let anybody speak. You always go talking. We don't get an opportunity. Then he would make shows up, go, people were messaging me. They don't like when Pesci interrupts me. No, they don't. People were messaging me saying they liked when I went off on you that one day because it was true. Eve was the one that messaged me. Who messaged you, Kenny? 2 people? 2 guys that probably aren't even giving you money, probably fake accounts, or guys that didn't even say what you're saying they said.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I just can't figure out. I can't figure out what his I
always say on Owen Alley at one point it was because I was fishing, and it wasn't for Boland's.
Yeah. Serbev said Jake's a modern day Kanye West.
And Servap, because this is Servap, will do. Servap will go on Jake's show later. Hey, Jake, he's probably Doyle or one of them. Pesci was talking shit. Nope. Pesci was telling the truth about everything that just happened. And guess what, Servap? You could keep them. You guys could go tell lies in your deluded story. and go back and forth and whatever. You do.
Oh no, Jake's got Servet blocked. He won't let Servet say anything in his chat.
I wonder. It's sad that he does that because the guy messages him in real life.
That's funny. Because I always wondered, because I know you guys know the connections of who Servet might be. We had a joke come up on our live the other day, and somebody right next to me, they were like, Perth, Australia? And I was like, yeah, Perth, Australia. We're all going to move out there.
Let me tell you where Servet was born. Whether that's the real Servet or not, let me tell you where Servet fucking Singh was born. I know that answer. Kenny did a show with the Indians, those people from India or whatever. And when he did shows after that, some of those Hindu people or whatever they were popping in. So look at Servet's picture. Because Kenny's is a place, a house of fakes, he just did an Indiana show and Bolin said the words, I'm going to be having a lot of new fans coming in from whatever that country was.
Yeah.
So what this guy did was found a picture of Servet, who's not even Indian, brought that guy into the chat because there was other Indians in there. That's where Servet Singh was born.
Schmidt figure out he's like a cricket announcer or something?
Yeah.
Like the real guy?
Right. The idea was Kenny was doing a show at four people. He was doing that picture because they would have been like, oh, that's just one of the new Indians. But he does never do a good job of hiding who he really is eventually. But like I said, as long as he's nice to me, I won't say nothing to him. Servet, you were born on the PWO. No one works for you. You're just a shit stirrer. You always been. Problem is why you hate me most is because I don't have to dress you on my channel. The mods already bang you. You came over to Jacobs and you were nice because there's no more water for you to swim. And when you're about to drown, you're going to fucking swim in any water you find or whatever, however that goes if you're a fish.
The truth gets in the way of a good story. Pesci.
And I don't even know who Servet really is. So
that was on Sport Kita.
That could be fucking.
So Schmidt doesn't have anything to prove that you were.
I'm McCormick.
Yeah, all you had to do is Google search the image, Servet. I don't know why you don't think people can do that. All you have to do is drop the image into Google. It'll tell you where it's from. It's not rocket science. What's up, JP McCormick?
You know what I mean? So that's why I said, I'm not going to be a mean guy. But, bro, you're going to come around me. There's big changes on the horizons. And I don't feel bad no more when I have to be the bad guy. So, rest in peace, HWO. If you look at the picture of the F off Brad, it says PWO Jake. You once said, Jake, I was right when I told you you do shows better with people than by yourself. Okay? The facts of the matters are there's certain things we as all individuals aren't good at. And being the top guy, making the decisions, building relationships, you're only so good at that to where you need to take instruction or you will self-destruct like you have. You got you don't really have much left. As I said, I'm still around. I at least haven't blocked you, Jake. Go figure, right? Out of all people, the guy you've blocked 1 million times, the guy you've lied about. You know what I mean? One time I've
never seen you block anybody though, Pesci.
He did a show with Ariel. And he goes, I'm blocking you, Pesci. And he did that to lie. He was getting a kick out of doing a show that was jocking on me, and I didn't even do shit.
Oh no, I could tell he liked the drama, and I think that's why.
Pesci's about their drama over there. No, motherfucker, you came over to my shit, started with a bunch of people. That's not called me starting shit because none of those people were looking for you.
But think about it. That's probably why me and that girl don't get along to this day. Was the drama that he orchestrated with her on his channel? Like that's where all this shit started. But the only person I probably disagree with in most of this community that has me blocked, I assume, and we don't talk anymore. And I assume Jake had some stirrings in that.
With who?
With Ariel.
Yeah, I got blocked by Angelo, and I wasn't even enemies with Angelo.
No, Ariel, I was saying.
I know, but Ariel's weird and emotional mess anyway. She knows that.
No. What I was saying is Jake and her did a show, and that's how all this drama started. I didn't care what Ariel was up to. You know what I mean?
That's where it escalated. It was already a fire burning that you just didn't see yet.
Yeah. If I was a famous cricket guy, there would be 10,000 images of me online. Show me one.
Well, like I said, Jake, and I said this before I ever met Lil Lemmy. I said, don't let me meet her, Jake, because she comes across as a girl I get along with. And if I were to become friends with her, I don't see the reason of keeping you around if you're going to be a dick to me. So if you're going to be a dick, because Little Lemmy does kind of what you do, Jake. And that was probably the smartest thing, not smartest thing, but it sounded clever. I don't need Jake anymore if you got a girl like Lemmy around, upping your channel, getting you going, blah, 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 because she'll appreciate shit you do for her. So unfortunately for you, Jake, we'll let you run around. But I'll tell you this. You try to bite anybody, I'm going to snip. And I don't give a fuck what you do, because your words can't hurt me no more. You did a good enough job by fucking over my friends or saying mean shit to where my brain is going to have, or my brain comfortably is going to be able to say the things I want to say, feel good about saying them, and never feel bad. And that one day when you do reach out and say, yeah, you're ready to fall in line, and I will listen to that. Because like I said, Jake, before I'm anything, I'm a hustler. You don't think there's guys I hustle to that did bad shit, lied, blah, blah, blah. You don't think you have to learn how to deal with somebody's insufficiencies in the world I deal in? Sir? You know what I mean? So stop calling yourself the best in the business. You never were. It was unfair. I call myself the 5-time because I am. I call myself always smoking because I am. I've always been what I've called myself. But there was going to be things. I've never done a podcast. You think when I had a couple hundred people following you and 30 people are arguing, you think I'm going to know how to handle that the proper way every time? No, I'm going to have to learn. But it's going to have to be on those people to say at least I did what I could. I can't suck anybody's D on, not to Sanders. It'd be one thing if Chris Schmidt was asking me to do something, but I got to keep a level head. Even when I have somebody in chat I don't like, I'll even let them stick around if they're getting along with other people.
Yeah.
Problem is, the last 5 shows I've had you on, Jake, I'm not seeing the funny stuff no more. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm seeing you do shit that's almost literally pissing me off every time. And I always said, I was trying to look at it like this. Your patience is getting my patience is getting stronger by you just kind of dealing with this. Keep doing it. Just see what he can throw at you. You know what I mean? Eventually you'll see that window to say how you feel. And this was the window. Perfect timing. Been waiting to say this, Jake. Definitely was like I said this off the top of my head. This is definitely something I've known. And this video will be proof.
Well, and I haven't heard you talk about it publicly anywhere else. That's what we were talking about earlier. A lot of people have asked you about this.
When he got in the thing with Rome, reblocked me, started talking shit about me. What did I do? Why are you acting like bowling? I thought you didn't like bowling. You're lying now, Jake. You're lying to us. You took probably the best friends you could ever met in your life, and you fucking made sure you fed them to whoever. And then joined sides with people you know. And well, if you're not smart enough to see that they were bad people, then I got to run myself. Because I don't got time to deal with guys that I showed loyalty to like you, make shit harder and harder and harder and harder for me. No, that's got to stop. Because I'm not even seeing the pluses anymore. You know what I mean? Because you don't find anybody anymore. I've been meeting people through Lemmy now. That's why I said, Jake, your days of me getting things from you, I don't want to ask you for shit because I know what you do to it. I'd rather go deal with somebody, help them out because they'll help me out, and they know what it looks like to help 2 people out. Same thing with Ariel. Eventually, Ariel came around. I knew she was never going to hate me. She unblocked me that night. You think I had to go apologize? No. Why would I have to apologize? That would make me the dumbest guy in the world.
Yeah, there's no reason to apologize. If you're just telling the truth, there's no reason to apologize.
Exactly. And I don't even want an apology. I'd rather have people get actions. You think I'm going to listen to an apology of crazy motherfuckers? No, I know they're not sorry.
Right. And Pook, to what you said, hey, if my door's always open, I've extended the olive branch a few times, and as of recently, I don't feel like that statement is true. But if she ever wanted to, she's more than welcome to.
No, she would say she wants to make good, but then something might happen again.
To give everybody a little backstory. I was watching one of Ariel's shows the other day, and I realized I was blocked. I was probably blocked through YouTube or something, so none of my chats were coming through. And it was just nice. It was just staying on topic and what they were talking about. And then I think Pesci's show that he came on after that was the following week, or at least the next one I saw. But she had shared the StreamYard link. I waited till the show was over. It was just her and Pena on there, and I decided to join the StreamYard link after the show was over. And I said,
"Do me a favor, Jacob."
Yeah.
The title of the video, can you change it to like Pesci addresses the Jake Husdon thing, or the Pesci and the PWO address the Jake Husdon thing?
All right. Yeah, I can update it.
Please, if you can. Only because I'm also going to download it and put it on mine also. I just want people, I want that fucking title to be out there because they'll click on that. The title on my show is going to be different. If I download on my channel, it's going to be this. The HWO has been destroyed. Just like those videos when you say, Pesci does this, Pesci does that. Pesci does this. Starts there.
PWO fears Jake Husdon, question mark.
Lie on Angelo and say Angelo didn't want me around. Goofy, because you didn't want me to be cool with him and excel it, because you destroyed it.
That'd be funny. He said, this morning Pesci has buried Jake, Bolin, myself. Who's next? The Easter Bunny?
Sir Vap, I didn't bury you. I said when you and me had problems, you know why. I would say, don't say this anymore, last chance. First thing you would say is that. If you would have been talking about dogs, cats, and Jacob Waters, you would have been good. You used to talk shit about Schmidt, and Schmidt's not a bad guy. You're blind. Would have been gone off of Bolins if Schmidt was a backstabber. You're too stupid to see that, you dumb idiot.
And JP wanted to know when's your ban up, Pesci?
I have no clue.
Isn't it?
I honestly do not know.
What strike was it?
But like I said, I was fucking networking in the Philippines yesterday, watching those Philippine channels. I'm up to 475. I got 100 subs by being generous to real Philippines. And real channels, not fakes, not bots, channels with real people, just kind of talking them, showing their support, but doing it with this intention. Hey, I'm going to support your channel. Can you throw those links out? I went from 371 to 470. Mm-hmm. It's a back scratch world. And I didn't even have to cheat. All I had to do was show face last night. Me and Punch-A-Hole. We were fucking kicking it with hot Philippines.
There's a lot of people in our little community that do that. I try to avoid doing that. I like that I can have 67 subscribers in 20.
Hi, Divine.
You know what I mean? Like, I like the fact that people actually show up that say they support you. It's not just a click for them. Like, that's what I'm.
I used to bring people here all the time. Me and Schmidt did.
No, not you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people that go out and do that, where you pay and then there's a click involved. Like that to me, it's just so, I don't know. I would rather have a community of people that are talking that I know. It's just always been me. I'd rather see half of my subscribers in my chat. Even if I have a small amount of subscribers, that means I know I'm connecting with the audience that's actually following me. I feel like that ratio is insane when we start getting into big pages. Then you can start to see what the fake numbers are. If you got 70 viewers and you can top out at 35 people that are all subscribed to you actually in the chat, that's insane. Nobody's putting up those numbers on a big channel. Like, because there's no connection there anymore. That's why
no connection. It's about the relationships.
True. And that's why I could never donate in order to get my channel pushed or anything like that. And when people try to push my channel on their channels, I'm like, hey, go check out my content if you like it.
And that's what Servap says, just so you know. Servap always blames Schmidt for doing that. Schmidt is dealt with enough that he doesn't gotta imitate you, Servap. He doesn't get a kick out of it like that, bro. When Schmidt used to make fake names, it was ones you could tolerate. They wouldn't have the comments that were attached to you. He never made a Servap account. We're bored of that shit. That shit was never fun.
I was gonna say, you guys did a Servap video months ago.
Yeah, because we were tired of it. It was time to fucking clown back.
Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it.
That's what I said. So, for those of you watching, thank you for watching. And to address that tweet the other day on Twitter, I think we're starting to see that the House of Hudson was filled with more than chaos. It was also filled with a shitload of lies. But me, keeping an even-keeled thing, just didn't decide to throw everything out there in the very beginning because I saw that there's some resources there that I could use. Because there's shows that I can't put the time in that he does. There's a few I like, but usually they're people I know, like I know Jacob, or guys you can physically have a conversation with. You'll go on shows that I don't really relate to the material. And I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's just not my kind of stuff. I don't blame you for being in there. You could excel from getting fans in a big audience like that. Your problem's going to be when you start telling them you want to meet them and you play that good guy shit like Chucky until they figure out who the fuck you are as a possessed devil. I once said on the Jacob Waters show, picture Jake like Chucky and Servap's like the Kid or something like that, or Charles Lee Ray or some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? We didn't have to compete. We just let you have that. We just wanted to be nice because we didn't know you were going to turn into a goddamn selfish child and claim all the shit you don't want as the shit you start. Well, I got to take this call. Oh, Tampa Terry here, brother. What's up? You coming by, brother? Yeah, it's a joke.
Thanks for making it.
Oh, yeah, I was up all night because I do fucking... A lot of us streamers are up at night. Bullshit. Yeah.
But yeah. No, Jake knows I got no hard feelings towards him. But like I said, him and Pesci actually have a relationship. I can understand Pesci's feelings. Like I said, I've seen Jake change recently, but Jake's never done me dirty. So
I saw a lot of things he did to me that I really didn't throw out there. I always told myself this over and over and over. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Okay, and everyone, and this could be proven too. I didn't even think about this. Oh, Jake, what's the word? Free. Remember what about Bob goes free when he gets out of the whatchamacallit? When dude tried to blow him up with the bomb. All right. Jake used to ask me when I first started doing my shows, you guys ready for this one? Jake used to do those little shows before I ever did it, like those 5-minute shows or whatever on Twitch or whatever, because he had accounts set up. I had them set up. I just wasn't ready to start using them yet. I was learning about them and shit, wanted to wait for the right time. But he used to tell me, you don't even come on my show. Because if you guys remember in the beginning, I used to tell Jake, I don't come on the show because usually your show is about tears and sadness, and I can't do that. I already know your story. I don't need to know every show when your dad died. I know. I don't need to know when your mom died. I know. I don't need to be reminded. You know what I mean? I know. I don't need to be felt bad every time around. First time I went on your show, Jake, you guys ready for this? You're going to say I don't know what I'm doing? First show I ever went on, Jake's, was the Marty the Moth show. And you saw what happened with me and Marty the Moth. We are legitimately friends to this day. To where, yeah, he's wrestling right now. We're not doing the Mario Kart stream. But we're definitely going to be doing it again. If I was going out in Utah or something like that, I needed to call him or something, get a connection from him. Oh, I got that for sure. I know he won't even, he'll say, yeah, he's a good guy. I knew Marty was a good guy. First day I met Marty, he was trying to get his phone to work to do an interview with Jake. He didn't know who the fuck I was. I met Marty because this is what I told Jake. I found out Jake was going to get Marty the Moth. I actually knew who Marty the Moth was, believe it or not. I don't know who all of his guests are because I watched Lucha Underground Wrestling. Didn't hate him as a wrestler either. Wasn't just because he was a wrestler. I actually liked his character. But when you get to meet him, he's a good guy. You're just going to like him. So that week, I've never been on the House of Hudson in my life. That can be proven. You know it. I go, Jake, let me do the Marty the Moth show. I go, at least you won't fall apart. Because Jake's first question was, so Marty, I heard you had Lyme disease. To where I had to turn it into a joke and go, Marty has this thing where he asks everybody what's their worst disease first. Like, guy we had last time had cancer, girl had an STD. It's just this thing. And Marty laughed at that and he was cool with it. But Jake didn't even really talk to Marty much after that. The relationship I built with Marty was because Jake was over there. Jake gets you on a show, reindeers you. And then if you are low enough level to send you a link, he'll send you a link every day. Like he wasn't sending Marty links because Marty doesn't have all the ways of getting a hold of him to where he answers and shit like that. But right when he did to Marty, it's like when Jake would do bad things, I go, shit, the Marty the Moth thing, and you got another person coming up. People just started popping up before I had a chance to hate the kid, to where my hustler side came out and said, you know you benefit. You like those relationships enough to look past the silly ass shit you're dealing with. Because it's not hurting you deep down. You're just getting a little bit more tired and tired and tired.
True.
You know what I mean? So don't call yourself the best in the world when you're not even winning. Not even close. Didn't even have a chance. And there wasn't even a question about it. Did have the world by the palm of the hands when it comes to money and this and that. But you played the money wrong, just like Kennedy did. You guys both played the money wrong because you didn't ask a guy who makes money for a living, what should I do? You wanted to just fucking turn me into the martyr, the enemy, the this, the that, instead of the actual asset that I am, in this world at least. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I don't know your guys' relationship that well. I mean, I know the above the scenes stuff, not the behind the scenes stuff. You know what's on the video, and even the stuff I see on the video, I've seen you nothing but support Jake. So
right.
I can't see him responding a different way.
To where he got comfortable being a bad guy because he goes, well, Pesci only says this and that and blah blah blah. When you went on Angelo's show, Jake, you showed me your poker hand. Because what's funny was I always questioned if it was possible. But then I did remember the bowling show. You did well, but what you did well in the bowling show is bowling had you read the comments. You didn't even have a chance to be Jake then. You know what I mean? I remember that show, Jake, because I was on it at the end. I was the one that asked you the question about Michael Cole's, the best question of the night, remember? Because I knew what kind of questions a guy like you would answer and hit a home run with, and I barely knew you. I only saw you for those first 2 hours when you were Jake Echo. The name I gave you. And then J.J. Arwood gave you the HWO meme that he made for me. He's the one that started that dumbass riffraff because he's a broke bum, charged you $5 that you got from me. I should have burned that shit ages ago. But I was happy because of the Martys and all that. And don't say I'm a bad guy for that, because you did enough for me to fucking do that. And me keeping those people around wasn't a bad idea. You need to learn to take help. Instead of just saying everybody new comes around. I've had trolls. I've had haters. To where these people are like talking to you like you've been a victim. When you have been the guy picking victims. Slowly, methodically, screwed up. Not how I would have did it. I would have took the money and the gifts and shit. And the stream yards. And all that other weirdo shit. And the raids. And I would have shut my mouth.
Cheers.
Hey. Hold on real quick. Let me get this. Let me pull something out.
Someone surely has a high opinion. Sir Rap, now you're just talking smack, man. If you keep talking smack, I'm gonna have to block the fucking the last couple comments.
As I said, he starts tornadoing up.
Yeah. No, I didn't really.
So look, let me answer that. Pesci, your problem is you think you're a lot smarter than what you actually are. Servat, I'm not trying to be smart. All I'm saying is what happened. It's not about being smart, bro. I never claimed to be smart ever. About knowing who Jake is as a person, you're going to say I didn't know who he was? What's there to be smart about, Servat? Your problem is, and you still same comments, they're not educated. How could you have seen as many shows as you've seen and not know that I don't claim to be smart? I just claim to know about a few things that are going on here. I played my cards, Jerry. I didn't claim to be Father of the Year, Noble Man of the Year, but if your fucking idiot ass doesn't see the people I kept together, then you're just lying. And you'll never win. Doesn't matter what you say. No one's ever going to believe you. You're not even a real person. I'm talking about Servat right now. So I'll get mad, Servat, that I won. You knew I would. You know what I mean? This guy put it twice. You think you're a lot smarter? No. Because look, if you go rewind the fucking video, Servat, nothing I said was wrong. So you saying I'm thinking anything, I'm not thinking shit. I'm saying how I felt, what I saw, what I did, what was done. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. How does that make me a lot smarter? I was dealing with the behaviors head on. That's why I knew about them. And I told people that. Same thing with Kenny. I've listened to his shit before. Wasn't because I thought I was smarter. It's because I watched shows that probably people wouldn't care to, and that's not bad. But I knew where I was going, so I needed to know my target. Thank you, Tiff. Look at this. Look at Jacob. Look what Servat's put. Out of my respect.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I read it.
How am I? Hey, Servat, why don't you just ask Jacob if he thinks I'm tweaking right now? If he does, I will apologize. Am I tweaking, Jacob?
No, and I don't think Pesci smokes anything else, and any of the other that was the stuff I was talking about. I was pissed off in the chat. Don't say that. Don't accuse people of smoking drugs that they're not.
If you showed this video to people that really knew me, and you took a survey, is what Pesci said a lie? And he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. They would probably say no. He's pretty much dead on accurate. Just like that girl that was on Ariel's show. When Ariel was talking shit, she goes, "Didn't you see the video?" She goes, "Yeah, he didn't really say anything that I thought was bad." See, I respected Maddie for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, I know Divine. Divine Tibbety knows me too. She knows I'm not no weirdo.
I mean, I feel like we're all weird, but at the same time, you're not coming off like a creep. You're not coming on here to tweak out and rant for no reason. Like, you come on here.
The reason Servat is mad is because he knows he still could survive on Jake's show. And he knows if Pesci kills it, where's he going to swim? You call me a lot of things, Servat. Just don't call me Servat. You were born on the PWO network. You act like I don't remember the day your picture came around. Only reason why that picture's around because the first day it came around, I said I love the picture. Why do you think it's still here?
Because he knows you like it, so he's got to keep pushing it. So do you think it's Doyle? I've always wondered that. When you guys said the connection and how all the connections seem to.
I don't know anymore. I truly don't. We found out. I don't know if it's Doyle. If Doyle's listening, I don't know. But what Doyle should have did was he should have been more clear of what fakes he did do and what fakes he did not, because then at least we could start to put it together. Maybe not believe, but he didn't even address him, and he said, "What the fuck's the Servat saying?" How could you watch every show, Doyle, and not know what a Servat saying is? That's a lie. Because you want to know why? You know fucking my one-liners. Because when I popped up on the show with you that one time, we didn't feel like strangers, did we? Because you knew everything I was saying. You knew the lingo because you watched the shows. That was the creepy feeling I got. This guy's been watching me for a long time. I just never know when I'm actually talking to him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he had the chance to bury me and he didn't. I go, do you got anything bad to say about me?
When it comes to trolls, he works just as hard as Jake Husdon when it comes to going to all the different channels and following everybody else in the community and watching what everybody's saying. Like, ugh, I'm getting a headache from all this.
And Servap, what he just put, that's all he'll ever put.
And then McCormick said, don't call me Servap. Now that's a shirt.
Right. You call me last, you don't call me Servap. Servap is upset because one of the if it is the guy I think it is, that guy's worst fear is facts. And that's what I usually come with.
I just looked, Galaxy just went live.
I've only seen 2 people, 3. Like I said, me and Ariel are cool friends, but the only people who've ever done shows with me are either known, I won't say the harsh word, are known fibbers because of my respect for Ariel. The people that have done shows on me are known fibbers. It's not even a debate. It would be probably, unless it was you doing the survey, if you took a survey with real people, I'm winning that.
I just figure I got to learn more about this Chris Doyle guy if I get accused of talking to him, you know.
Listen,
I was like, I got to know who this guy is.
But he's been fucking with us for a long time. Fake accounts, fake mothers, people dead. It's an extensive thing. He didn't bring that shit in here because he knew I don't got many places to swim.
Thanks, Julie.
But you go in my block list. Servap's going to talk shit about me. Almost every name in my block list has to deal with Servap. Who's the real problem here?
Makes you wonder.
Has he ever said anything that's fact one time? No. What, Kenny's a liar? Who doesn't know that? That would be like saying the Cleveland Browns are a dysfunctional rant team. They are. Sometimes the guys that can learn to call spades do the best. Those 2 can't. For that, they got this. And it's not like you can't come back from the dead. You guys go, oh man, I've dealt with drug dealing liars that have not robbed, but owed me money and didn't pay me, brought them back and tried to give them a chance, except it's like a dog. If they chew on one thing, you just put this gate up. You go, hey, if you bring them around, they're going to bite this. You got to learn to try to deal with them because sometimes, like a Jake, you can see past his stupidities and know that the guy has networking capabilities.
Oh, yeah. He definitely does.
But Jake, when you bring up all the HWOs, that shit don't even exist. That's a mirage. And you know what? Yeah, it sounds harsh, but I saw so many videos that it's time for me to be harsh back. Sorry. Wait, do you need anything from me, man? I'll leave it at now. You're gonna say hi before you leave. This guy that's in here with me, this guy I did time with, we were cuffed on a bus to prison. You know what I mean? I've had to build clubs in the joint with people, usually not intentional. It just happened randomly. Because usually when people get around me, they'll see a value of some sort. And they'll see the shit that they hate worst are usually things I don't do or might be the last person to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, even in prison, you gotta move along and get along. I mean, you're not going to be standoffish there. No one is.
You would be in the hole if you didn't know how to run your mouth in there. You would have to be in the hole. If I didn't know how to talk, because you get beat up every day, and the cops don't let the fights happen anymore. They see Ohio men fucked up. They're putting them in the hole until he tells them who fucked them up because they want you in the hole. The wardens do not get praised off of inmates getting severely hurt or dying. That's why, believe it or not, prisons, they make so much money that now the top priority is making sure no one dies. Keep us out of the paper. We're making millions. We can't have people dying and getting butt fucked and dying and all that shit. Hey, wait, Clark, real quick, come here. Clark, I would play poker at a 13-person table. How many white dudes were at the 13-person table I played at in prison?
Oh, none.
How many?
None.
What was the color of all the other guys this white guy was playing with in poker?
Black dudes, yeah.
Yeah. And these were guys that were the most dangerous guy in the facility we were in, got paired up on a bunk to where me and this dude were boys, to where nothing would have never happened to me, period. They used to wish people would come fuck with me. That's what I said. So it's like
that's the kind of community you got to build though when you're there. You can't.
Well, yeah, I'm all like all tense. I'm pissed.
Sure, Bep, how many times are you going to tell people you're leaving?
Look, as Bolin says, look, Pesci's blowing himself again. No, you guys hate not being cool. You put me in situations from Bolin to Jake. You guys put me in situations to where there was nothing about being smart. It's easy. You guys write it all off, then you fucking show me the blueprint, and then I see where the fuck ups are, where the insufficiencies are, how I got to add my little to it. Like I said, if he didn't have no worth, I wouldn't have brought him around, because he did enough to me to go, yo, dude, I'm out. Both of them. But I saw value to a certain degree. I'm kind of done with the whole Kenny thing. Kenny would have to beg me and then also listen to me if he wanted to do business with me again. And Kenny, if you ever did hear this, I don't give a shit what you say. I paid my fucking dues there, times 2, like I always say. Because I know way before we ever break up, I know we were going to end. I wasn't like a shocker. It's preparing for that I was always doing. By showing, hey, when that day comes, I don't want people saying it was me and shit. I tried to do at least one thing a week. And then Kenny would always go, oh, it's just me cutting a promo. I'm working. I don't really feel that way. Yeah, I know you don't have no feelings, but some of that shit you did feel, bro. You know you took some of that shit to heart. You just feel stupid when you're called out and you turn it in. I was just wrestling. Bullshit. Come on, man. And sorry, it's not being mean. It's just being honest. Like, what did Pook Ninja say? Have some class. And that's what we're doing. Because you know why? If I didn't say anything, it's just the tornado's going to spin up and up and up. And it's able to spin on my show because usually I shut my mouth. I don't have to bite my tongue. Remember when Macaulay Culkin goes, I'm not afraid anymore. Here we go. Except I was never afraid. I just felt like I owed. So I pay. I always tell people, don't do as I do. Do what you want to do. I might need your help for some things. I always tell people, when I do shows with people, I know people do their own shows. I don't give a shit. If people realize more networking is more networking, if you're a good person, you don't think that that person that you're networking with, like Kenny goes, don't do a show with me. Kenny, huh? Do you know how to build an audience in Stream World? That's kind of how it's done sometimes. Because there's some guys who won't watch you, but they might follow you. Don't talk to me about intelligence ever. Again.
There's three people in this community that have tried to tell other people not to do shows at the same time or stuff like that. It's like, that's not how it works. It's like that no one owns YouTube or a certain time slot or anything like that. That's why I don't schedule shows. I think it's a pain in the butt to do. I'd love to go on at earlier times and meet a new audience and then be able to introduce them to everybody else.
I also watch multiple things. Like I haven't said a while. I'll watch. I used to keep bowling on when I was doing a stream, but I just got tired.
I get it.
That's why since he's blocked me, he's already started the, I'd forgive Pesci if he gave me Bojangles. I don't need to reach out and apologize. I didn't do anything. And it's been very, what do they call that? Save. I've been saving a lot of money.
Probably. I could assume so. And somebody else hasn't been making as much.
That's what I said. So if Jake Hudson ever wants money from me again, you're going to have to earn it like everyone else. We put on a good show. We show respect. We fall in line. Because the days fucking asking me for shit and then just going on shows and lying, no remorse, not even knowing what you did, that doesn't sound fun anymore to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm working. I'm not Sir Vap. I'm Vap Daddy. It's a character. And then Pook said, I try not to do any shows if somebody else is. I am cool with doing a show, but yeah, anyone can do a show whenever they want. Yeah. I mean, there shouldn't be any guidelines telling people, you know, oh,
Dude,
I'm
and
no one else.
no
Everybody's
one's
over here.
nobody
watching.
was taking anything away from anyone. Kenny, no one's taking anything away from you. People, you don't think you think I watched you solo when I watched you?
Right.
Bro,
I didn't have 3 other
you
screens
on in the
showing at
background.
the same time.
And Kenny, to be respectful, I always had you on in the background. You guys would just say my name enough to where I had to fucking listen. You bet your ass if you wouldn't have said my name first, I would have probably been able to separate. I got tired of that one time. The first time he blocked me, he was lying about the whole reason he blocked me. He said I started running with stalkers. Made it sound like over on my channel I had a club of like thieves and we're all in the room like, all right, step one, bowling, that. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ. Kenny, I don't got to say anything behind your back here. You show who you are on camera. Thank you for that.
And it gives people a chance to figure it out themselves.
And that's a good quality of yours, Ken. At least you do enough for them to figure out who you are.
So, how do you not
And
know when you're going to be back
say
up?
I'm the bad guy because of this? They've been pushing me for this for months. If you say I wasn't pushed to this, you're as blind as a bat. Sorry, Clark. It was a rough day. I had to call somebody out.
So, how long until
What?
you are labeled? Oh, no, I'll get you when you come back. But yeah, no, I've been curious to when Pesci's going to be off for. A couple people were asking about it in the chat.
You good though? Yeah. All right. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I had to take care of it.
People that were wondering, I'll probably do a game stream after this too.
You could game right now if you want. I start gaming now.
Oh no, I really like this projector thing I'm doing now. I fucking like this. It's way better than getting the glare I was getting before, but I still
Do you play any multiplayer games?
What's that?
Do you play any multiplayer games?
Oh yeah, I can play any multiplayer games, but it's all through Xbox. But I don't know.
The other thing, and if Herman, you're out there, I didn't know when you blocked me. I didn't even know, and Jacob knows that because I went to Jacob's first. What's up, Zach? Well, I got to take care of one person.
You're good.
But Herman, if I did look like I took his side, it was because I thought you guys had your own. Pablo, you're good. That's what he does. He's a dog. Pablo. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Actually, let me see if I can get it going in the background. I might. Let's see if the video will come through.
Yeah, no. Show me that first. You show this one. This is how I fit. So why so low? It's just a cheap rate. They can charge you higher. That would be $225. I do have a 2 somewhere. You're gonna like this. So does that. Like I said, some people have to charge more for it, and I always go. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, I just say. Yeah, thanks. Give them that. It's too bad. Oh, give them all here. Fucking had no voice because they said to call out fucking.
So, God, I can't. So I'm not even watching it in the chat because I didn't. Survey
Watch them all.
Did you just change your name? Back Daddy, because you haven't been going by that before. I know you don't have a rank, so I wasn't for sure. Oh, and Poop Ninja, I want to do that as well. Poop Ninja definitely needs a wrench in this.
You could just give
Glad you're able to make it over, man.
computer on.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, man.
Dude, like I said, I was always around because he got me on there in Excel.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get it. But he reminds me of like almost.
Close that fridge for me, Zach. Thanks. Sorry, I had to pay the gardener.
Oh, you're good, man.
But yeah, today I tell you this, Jacob Waters. This is actually a funny thing with Jacob Waters. I always said some of my most memorable shows I did with Jacob, the Trump Sasquatch, the Moon Show. I'm pretty sure there was a couple other ones in there, and they're pretty memorable. Like I always said, when I look back on things, that Trump Sasquatch guy, that's the one guy I wish we could have did that again in front of like our, bigger audience or whatever, because that was kind of just randomly out of the blue.
Yeah, he was actually just talking to me today, Ryan. Yeah, he wants to do a show soon, and the reason I think he came on before is because he was blocked from his, which I don't mind doing for people. Like if you're blocked and you want to talk, and you want to have a platform to talk on, it's whatever. I always give people that option because a lot of people did it to me when I was blocked and when I was going through all the bullshit in the beginning. Even you did that for me, Pesci. And I don't know. I've been trying to return the favor, and Ryan just reached out to me recently.
Dude, for instance, when you said I could go live, I was like, yeah, I know you could have used your channel, but what I saw his opportunity was, for instance, I've been getting people to come over on Twitch right now, and there's a level to go up in the level to open up more revenue. You had to have an average 3 people watch on Twitch. I didn't have that on Twitch. I got that on YouTube, but I'm far from monetized. So I was like, you know what? I felt the Jake thing boiling. I was like, I'm just going to go take my suspension, go on Twitch, maybe do some nighttime networking, which I did last night. Got 100 follows. Dumb luck. Me and Punch a Hole found this channel. Anybody could do it, not just me. It might cost you a couple bucks because it's not free, but the people are real at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't think the people are real, but the question is, after it, do they ever come back?
Well, that's my thing. I'm not looking at a million.
That's the game you got to play with fucking YouTube, is because their requirements are different than all these other people like Twitch.
There's only one goal I have on YouTube. I just want to get to 1,000. That's it.
Exactly.
That's why I said if I get to anything else after that, as soon as I get to 1,000, I'm not going to be fucking, unless it's a Filipinian I know it's going to come back, maybe when I'm hollering at. Like I do talk to a few.
Well, and that's what I realized, Pesci, when I had 200 subscribers, I was already making the watch time requirements. People with 1,000 subscribers or 1,200 subscribers aren't making the watch time requirements because they don't know how to get people to watch their content. And that's why I was like, oh yeah, you can reach the numbers subscriber wise, but you're probably like me. You have a decent amount of people that just watch you. Like they'll leave it on regardless. And you do probably make those watch time hours, but that's just as important as the subscribers that people are worried more about.
Thank you.
Sir Bev said, last question. Is it true everyone who Bolin blocks ends up on your show? True or false?
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Servap. The only person he blocked was Harry. Eve blocked him. He didn't block Puncho. Puncho didn't come back. Yes, he blocked Jonathan, but is Jonathan a bad guy? So Jonathan ending up on my show is not a bad thing. What we need? 25. That's why I said a lot of those people that were blocked, Rome blocked Bolin. Is Rome a bad guy? Was that bad that Rome ended up on my show? I said once in the very, 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 very beginning, even though it always felt like the number of people that were there in the beginning, it's just added and different faces are coming in. But the core unit was always there from the bowling.
I'll see you, Mike.
Later. Thank you. No problem. All right, later. I always said the people that are here from Bowlins were the ones I wanted. Why do you think me and Hazelwood is number one? Are cool as fuck. But me and Bob have enough respect for each other where I'm not going to bring that shit up in front of Kenny so he can, like, make comments to Bob. Because Bob don't deserve that.
What are you going to do for dinner?
I was going to do...
So, the greatest thing about this one, Jake, is there's no, like, rebuttal. A comeback, other than you maybe making fun of my mother or something silly, you couldn't even come back to this. Like I said, it was a mic drop. I once told Bolin it's not no fun when Joe Pesci has the gun because I've kept it in the side pocket for so long with my finger on the trigger. You think that it was a surprise? You think I haven't did business with bad people before? I'm a convict. I'd expect everyone I deal with to be better than me. I always say I'm the worst guy in the room. So, sir, if you are right about that, I am a piece of shit, sure. But it looks like when it comes to these little riff-raff, tiff-taffs, I definitely didn't lose no oxygen, didn't lose no respect. If not, this video is going to make me look even better. So, thanks to those that did make it hard. I appreciate that I didn't have to compete against Bolin. Everything was given to me. And I didn't do it in a disrespectful way. I did it in the most respectable way you could do to a guy that talked to me in ways that him and Mr. Hudson did. And Jake just said, no, I don't hate you. So you better learn to fall in line if you're going to come around me or don't come around. All right? And go ahead and make videos. I promise you, people will watch them. But it's just like when we watch fucking Tom and Jerry. We don't take much of it serious what's happening in there. Because it's all cartoon. You know what I mean? And I know eventually you'll crawl back around because you know I won't fucking step on you. Like I told those guys, I usually deal with the lowest of the low. I'll deal with you when your dollar's out because now I know the most about you. Except when you come back, it's going to be on my terms. Because you know that the fucking mentalness of not having what you once had will slowly start to show. It already has. But there's never a change. Frank Kirsch said it best. He said, I once said it just in different words. You can't fix him. He's broke. You can't fix Jake. If you look at the definition of his behavior, he can't. Now,
I feel like I don't ever see him going backwards. He's always just perpetuated what's going on for sure.
Right. Kenny Bolin, he made this big thing about him and Bolin. Bolin hasn't seen you in a long time, Jake. Your enemy shit with Bolin is because of the way he treated others. Bolin didn't really do much to you. You came on the show twice and he stopped having you come on there because Kenny is an emotional mess. And when you did that video, which he should have laughed at, Kenny should have. Like I said, he wasn't right. Kenny took it personal. Showed you where his intelligence level was. I remember I said that was actually very brave of you. But you stopped being funny like that because you started targeting the good. It became the villain. And Jake, I'll tell you why part of me is happy. Because in the beginning, I used to always say, Jake's emotions are not necessarily going to bring you down, but they're really going to distract you from being the guy you want to be. Because I'm not saying I'm a heel, but I don't do a sad show. You know what I mean? People could bust my balls. I'm ready. There's certain shit we're going to have to block. Yeah, it's because it's nonsense. And they know who they
are. You've never been one looking for the show for just the drama. Like, so you can tell people that are chasing the chaos and want the drama in the chat. You've just never really been like that. That's why you give everybody.
Even Harry reached out to me and said, "Fucking, I apologize." It was Jake the whole time. He knows that.
Yeah.
I was tired of saying shit like that. I was tired of people really thinking I'm lying about common sense shit. Like, I always go, now with all the tape we have on me, holy smokes. There is not, I won. If there was a winning, you know what I mean? If it was like that, they turned that shit into a competition. My chances of survival on the bowling alley were slim to zero. Kenny said if a man calls his shots in my DM, hey, so they don't last more than 15 minutes, I see you probably getting ran off in 30. His words still got the DM. All I was saying when I sent that DM was I didn't know how YouTube worked. I didn't really know. I thought maybe he'd be worried about me jeopardizing his channel, like screaming out a racist vicinity or something like that. So I actually reached out to him and said, don't worry, I'm going to do great. I know how to do this. I know how to act around anybody. And I could say this now because it shows. Let me guess, Sir Pesci thinks he's smarter than anybody. I don't think I'm shit. All I've ever told is what has happened. That's what I said. Some things I predicted because I saw shit you didn't. I watched the shows.
Well, I mean, but that's been something that you stuck by. Is at least I'm just going to say the truth. If that's all I can say, I'm just going to say what I know.
I'll stop calling. But yeah. Hey, Pesci, probably said, can I get some money? My last message was him was, don't ask me for any money unless you help me do something. You made it easier. Cheers. We'll always be here. You got to learn to be a friend. My recommendation, Karate Kid 1. Daniel LaRusso is one hell of a friend. Go study Daniel LaRusso. Go study Happy Days. Go study the guys from Cheers that sit at the end of the bar.
You say, why didn't anybody ever get thrown out of the bar at Cheers?
Because guess what?
They talk a lot of shit. Why don't they ever get thrown out?
I said in the beginning, you might bring me down because of your emotions, because I'm going to make decisions based on your emotions. I'm glad you made it easy for me to make this decision. Because I said on the show we're on yesterday, you're making me weaker. You're killing the morale of the room. You're acting silly. You're making us look silly. We were that one day, we were all laughing in Discord. This guy came in and we're all staring at each other silent after he left, like we didn't even know what just happened. And then he did that 5 times in a row. There's no video you could show me where he's come in my show, trivia included,